You wake up, shuffle into the kitchen, and reach for the same carton you've reached for 100 times before. 2 eggs, into the same pan, cooked the same way you've cooked them for maybe 40 years. It feels like the most harmless decision of your whole morning. But here's what nobody tells you. The way you're cooking, storing, and pairing your eggs might be quietly working against you. Not because eggs are dangerous, but because a few small habits change how your body actually uses them. Let's be honest. You've probably seen videos that call eggs a superfood one week and a health risk the next. That's not what this is. This isn't about fear, and it isn't about hype. It's about what's actually happening inside your body when that egg hits the pan, and why a few tiny adjustments can make a real difference in your energy, your muscles, and even how well your medications work. Because here's the thing. An egg isn't just an egg. It's a tightly packed bundle of protein, fat-soluble vitamins, and choline, a nutrient your brain depends on. And depending on how you treat it, from the moment you crack the shell to the moment you swallow that first bite, you either unlock most of what's inside it, or you don't. Doctors aren't hiding anything from you. Most of them just don't have time in a 15-minute visit to walk you through the small kitchen habits that make the biggest difference. That's what we're going to do together today. By the end of this video, you won't just know the 7 mistakes. You'll understand exactly why each one matters. What's happening at the level of your gut, your liver, and your cells, so that changing them doesn't feel like a rule you're following. It'll feel like common sense you can't unsee. So let's start with the one happening in almost every kitchen this morning, the moment the pan starts to heat up. Mistake number 1 starts before the pan even gets hot, cooking your eggs on high heat until the edges turn brown and crispy. It feels harmless, maybe even satisfying, that little crunch. But high heat changes the proteins in eggs through a process called oxidation, where heat causes certain molecules to react with oxygen and become harder for your body to use efficiently. Think of it like over-toasting bread. The outside looks fine, even good, but the inside has dried out and lost some of what made it worth eating in the first place. Researchers at institutions like Harvard School of Public Health have long studied how cooking methods affect nutrient availability in whole foods, and the general pattern holds for eggs too. Gentler heat preserves more of the nutrition, while high, prolonged heat breaks some of it down. So mistake number 2 follows right behind it: overcooking the yolk completely. That golden, slightly soft yolk isn't undercooked laziness. It's where most of the choline lives, the nutrient your brain uses to support memory and focus. Cook it to a chalky, crumbly gray-green ring, and you've pushed out some of the very thing you wanted. Here's the myth-busting moment. Many seniors were taught decades ago to avoid egg yolks entirely because of cholesterol concerns. But research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that for most people, dietary cholesterol from eggs has a much smaller effect on blood cholesterol than scientists once believed. It's saturated fat overall in the diet that matters more. So the yolk you've been scraping into the trash may be one of the most valuable parts of your breakfast. Mistake number 3 ties in here too. Eating your eggs completely alone, with nothing else on the plate. Fat-soluble vitamins in the yolk, like vitamin D and vitamin K, need a little extra fat or fiber alongside them to be absorbed well, similar to how a sponge needs some moisture already present before it can really soak anything up. Mistake number 4 is about timing. Eating your eggs first thing on an empty stomach, especially if you're also taking morning medications. Protein slows down how quickly your stomach empties, which can affect how fast certain medications get absorbed. This isn't dangerous, but it's worth knowing, especially if you take thyroid medication or certain heart medications where timing matters. A quick word with your doctor or pharmacist about your specific prescriptions and meal timing is always worth it, not because anything is wrong, but because getting the timing right helps everything work the way it's supposed to. Mistake number 5 is storage, keeping eggs in the little compartment built into your refrigerator door. It seems convenient. That's what it's there for, right? But that door area is the warmest, most temperature variable part of the fridge, since it opens and closes all day. Eggs kept their cycle between cool and slightly warm over and over, which speeds up the natural breakdown of proteins inside. Keeping them on a shelf, further back and colder, is like storing wine in a steady cellar instead of near a drafty window. Steadiness protects quality. This is where the stakes get real for you specifically. Choline supports memory and mental clarity, something that matters enormously as we get older. Not because your mind is failing, but because you deserve to feel sharp and present for your grandkids, your hobbies, your conversations. Protein from eggs, handled well, supports the muscle strength that keeps you steady on your feet and independent in your own home. A study from the University of Illinois on protein distribution throughout the day found that spreading protein intake, rather than getting it all at dinner, better supports muscle maintenance in older adults. Your morning eggs aren't just breakfast. They're one of your best tools for staying strong, clear-headed, and steady enough to keep living life exactly the way you want to. Mistake number 6 is closely related. Skipping eggs at breakfast and saving your protein budget for dinner, thinking it evens out. It doesn't quite. Your muscles respond better to protein spread across the day, like watering a garden a little each day rather than flooding it once a week. Mistake number 7, the last one, is the simplest and the easiest to fix. Buying eggs and forgetting they exist for 2 or 3 weeks before cooking them. Freshness affects both taste and nutrient quality, and eggs closer to their purchase date hold on to more of their good qualities. Now let me tell you exactly what this means for your morning, starting tomorrow. Here's your simple protocol. First, cook your eggs over medium or medium-low heat, and stop when the yolk is still soft and golden, not chalky. This alone protects both the show line and the texture you actually enjoy. Second, don't eat your eggs completely plain. Add a small pat of butter, a slice of avocado, or a piece of whole grain toast, something with a little healthy fat or fiber to help your body absorb those fat-soluble vitamins. Third, store your carton on an inside shelf, not the fridge door, and try to use eggs within 2 to 3 weeks of buying them. Fourth, if you take morning medication, ask your doctor or pharmacist a simple question at your next visit. Does taking this with food, or on an empty stomach, matter for how well it works? It takes 30 seconds and gives you real peace of mind. That's it. No extreme changes, no special ingredients, nothing complicated. Just a few small adjustments to something you already do every single day. So tomorrow morning, when you walk into that kitchen and reach for the same carton you always reach for, notice something different. Notice the heat on the pan, the softness of that yolk, the shelf you pull the carton from. It's the same ordinary moment it's always been. But now you understand exactly why it matters. And that understanding is what makes it stick. If this helped clear a few things up, stick around. There's more just like this waiting for you. One small habit at a time.